depends on the type of cases, but we tend to average. I have to take because how we calculate it is we look at our fees, and then so I have to reverse engineer it in my head as to what the actual dollar value of the case would be based on what the average fee would be. So the average settlement is probably around $200,000. I would think is probably an average settlement right now. But they vary widely, right? I mean, because we have settlements of, or I could settle cases for 20 or 30,000. I could also settle a case for 5 million. So that was going to, the 5 million is going to skew the average high, right? Right on the average. So depends if you're talking about, median average versus mean average,
median average. Like, the most number of your cases, what range do they fall in? Because I don't think like 200 cases is really high.
Yeah, most of them would settle in the 50,000 to 100,000 area. But the amount would skew up again because there's the ones that come in at the millions, right? They would pull the average up.
Yeah. What's your lowest settlement and what's your highest settlement?
Well, lowest settlement, I guess, would be if you're talking an actual settlement, because some cases we drop along the way. If you're in early stages, we find out, sometimes people tell us incorrect facts, if I can put it politely, and then we find out that they're not true. But in terms of cases where like that would involve these particular type files where liability is not an issue and everything like that, some of those cases can settle. They usually settle for, I would say, minimum would probably be about $5,000. Would probably have been the smallest one ever resolved. And again, then they go up to multi-millions depending on which one it is.
Yeah. Okay. So your high is over $1 million?
Oh, well over $1 million. I think the highest is probably 15 million, I think.
Oh, really? In a car accident? Wow. Okay.
That wasn't a car accident. No, that was the ones we discussed before. That's part and parcel of a product liability type thing, which is ones I don't put people's money in because they're more risky, but they're what we call high risk, high reward. Yeah. Right. If you win them, you do really well, but you could lose quite big too on those ones as well.
But for the case that we put our money in, like, is it like 5K to what's the highest one you settled?
Yeah, the ones that you put your money in, I don't think any of them would settle for 5K because that would be a very tiny little thing.
Exactly.
Right. It would probably, the range would be around the $50,000 to $100,000 mark. That's where most would be falling.
Okay. Got it. And when you talk about drop rate, which I didn't hear before, like, are any of our files, I guess, are any of our money or lenders' money is put on files that end up been dropping?
No.
Okay.
No, because those would be determined. Those are usually dropped very, very early in the process before we've even spent any money. It would be like somebody told, like people, they have lied to us, quite frankly, right? And we look into things. It's like, no, that's not true, right? And therefore, there's nothing going on where we don't put any money into it. So those are very early things that may happen.